Hey y'all, Blade Guy here. Today I'm going to be going over my top 5 hunting knives, this being 5 and this being 1. So let's get right into it. This is the Buck 119 Special. Very recognizable classic knife. As you can see, I've used this thing quite a bit. I use it for woodworking, batoning. People say this guard loosens up. It hasn't loosened up for me. I really like it, even when it's fresh and new, and when it's got all the scratches on it. I think it looks so cool. It may be a little bit big, but I would still take this knife hunting. This choil is just small enough for my smaller than normal fingers. This part can bite into you sometimes if you're really bearing down on it, but I like it a lot. It's a great knife. Two negatives are that the sheath rattles. You hear that, and this handle can get a little bit slick when your hands are wet, but it's still a great knife. It's definitely one I recommend. Now, this is a knife from Jason Fry. He's a custom knife maker based in Texas, which I love how that handle looks. It's like a bird and trout knife, so you kind of hold it further up than like back here. You hold it up here in your fingers, and it works great. Ergonomic, comfortable, not really a finger choil, but you don't need it really. I really like this knife. I carried it for work, just cardboard and tape and, prying and giving it to coworkers, so it was a good option for me. The leather work on this sheath is so nice. I love this design right here. The retention on it when I got it was so good that I carried it tip up on my left hand side. I ended this lanyard because without it, you could only get like one finger wrapped around it, but with this lanyard, I can get my whole hand on it. So tip up on my left side, I could reach over and grab it, or let's say I'm busy and I gotta grab it with my left hand, and just do that, nice and easy. There's a great knife. A good alternative to this that you can actually find and buy would be the Exodus Knife and Tool Adventure Craft or the Jackalope, one of those two. And White River Knives also has an Exodus series, which I highly recommend and would be even better than this, really. Our second knife, or our third, actually, is just a classic 3-bladed Stockman pattern slip joint knife. You have your main clip point. This was given to me by my grandfather. You see all the scratches. I had to redo the tip. There's a big chip right here in the blade. But yeah, great knife. Not one that I would take hunting myself, but people use knives like this for hundreds of years. I mean, not hundreds, but more than 100 years for sure. I'm a big fan of the Trapper pattern. And I do want to mention the Spay blade because I feel like a lot of people don't give it enough credit. It's very similar to the blade shape of like the 940, which people love, the Benchmade 940. Especially for like open packages and stuff, I find it really useful that this blended tip isn't gonna puncture or slice anything that I'm trying to get into. But great knife, definitely recommend something like it because as you can see, these were back when Schrade was based in the USA, and they are no longer producing this kind of knife, at least, the Uncle Henry. This is a Senior Rancher, I believe, for those of you who are into more traditional knives. I'm sure you could already tell, this is the Buck 110, and for a great reason. It's been a classic hunting knife. I mean, people think a hunting knife, this is probably what they think of. Just super comfortable, not really a choil, but you can definitely choke up here. For more detail work, it is a fantastic knife. The mechanism, it's just a simple lock back, so if stuff gets done in there, you just wash it out. It's not a big deal. Now, if I was going to use something like this is the Manix 2 and S110V for processing game, it would be a bear to get down in there and clean all the blood and hair and gristle and all the stuff that comes with dressing out game. So this is a great knife. I didn't have this specific one, but my grandfather had knives like it, just like an knockoff, like an Uncle Henry or something like that, and they worked great. I mean, that's what we used when we did our deer down there, and it worked great. I was a big fan of that knife. Sorry about the dog there. But yeah, it is a great knife. Definitely very recommendable and classic. I heard they're $90 now, which, oh my goodness. Okay, The dogs were just going crazy right there, so hopefully I'll edit that out. But yeah, I definitely recommend this knife. It is definitely great, and I'm a big fan of what Buck does with their heat treat on this 420 HC. It is something to write home about, for sure. And then, let me just put this back. And the number one spot, we have the White River Knives Jason Fry Utility Hunter. I wish I had this knife back when I went hunting, because this would have been perfect. Nice, smaller blade, really good for detail work. Not really a choil, again, you don't need it. No jimping, but this G10, just take a look at that. It looks so good with the black and the green and the brown. I think it just comes together to be a great package. In fact, the only thing I have to say, and the only reason I don't carry this knife more, is this retention on the sheath is just, I mean, it's hardly anything. Like, yeah, it just falls right out. If anyone knows how to fix that, let me know. White River Knives does not sell a Kydex sheath for this. I have looked and looked and looked, and I might end up making one myself, and that may be a future video. I'm not sure, but still a great knife, still recommendable. I would probably go for like their small game hunter or something that comes in a Kydex sheath, but if you want something more traditional, this is definitely an option. And out of all the knives that I own, this is the one that I would take hunting. I have a few honorable mentions though. These two knives right here. I'm going to start with this one. This is just one of those replaceable blade knives that you see. I know Gerber has one. You know, blade gets dull, it breaks, whatever, chips out. Take it out, boom, throw it away, put another one in, and you're good to go. Obviously, you would go with the drop point blade shape, but this is, it's okay. It would definitely work if you needed it to work, and this is something you're looking for. As you can see, I put plenty of wear on this thing. It was the other knife that I carried for my work, along with this one, and it was a pretty good combo carry. But I don't know, it's just not for me. Sometimes these blades, if you put enough pressure on them, they'll just come out without pressing the button, and it's a little bit of a hazard for me. And I don't know how they could put their thumb stud in a worse spot instead of just naturally. Like, you have to like bend your thumb at such a weird angle. It is you know, you get used to it, but it's not the most comfortable thing, and it is significantly in the cutting path. Along with this lip right here where the blade goes in, it's just, you know, that's why I don't recommend this knife, and it's just an honorable mention. But you know, if that's what you're looking for, then that's definitely an option. And now I have the Andrew Dimco Armiger 2. Of course, you would again go with the clip point blade shape. This little thing's great, and it's a great backup for any of these. I usually have this knife, it's just a secondary. I really like it. You know, you could put a paracord lanyard on there like I did on this one, but it's really not necessary for my smaller hands. If you had larger hands, I would definitely recommend a paracord lanyard there, or leather. I think leather lanyards look really cool, but super great. And at the clip point, it'd be even better for, you know, those cuts that you make. It's a great knife. The steel maybe isn't the best, but you know, it works and it gets sharp, and it's stainless, so what more could you ask for? Super easy, rinse it off, put it in the sheath, and you're good to go. Okay, sorry about that cut, y'all. I'm back. But yeah, I had a SOG Instinct Mini, not the Mini, the regular, sorry. And it was a little bit larger than this one. Not a good knife. You know, the grind was not good, the geometry was not good, the sheath dulled it like every time you put it in. The handle wasn't comfortable. It was, you know, way more expensive than this. It was not worth it at all. If you don't really have any money for a hunting knife, I would get maybe an off-brand one of these Buck knives, or one of these. You know, these are fairly cheap, but I really recommend, you know, even something like this. It's a little bit smaller, it's a fixed blade, it's way easier to clean, because this thing sucks to clean. Even just from dirt and grime, it is not as easy as just a normal folder or a normal fixed blade. There's a few knives that I don't have that I want to mention. Those being the Spyderco Native 5, I just feel like that would be a good blade shape for, you know, the processes. And, you know, you could go G10 or FRN. The FRN with those, like, that bi-directional texturing, that may be a little bit more difficult to clean out. You might want to go with the G10. The lockback version, obviously, for simplicity of cleaning. And the Spyderco Chaparral. I think that would be a great knife because it's so thin and so slicey, and I'm definitely interested in getting a Spyderco Chaparral one of these days. But I believe that's about it. So have a good day, and remember, take it easy.